Hi, this is Chris. Today I'm going to be working in my paper pillow scrap collage journal. So I have a playlist on how I made this and how I'm using it. It's a fun, relaxing way to spend an afternoon. So I'll take the papers out, and here's some collages I have done so far. This was all scraps off my table. I was cleaning up my table and I had all these scraps on my table. And here are some scraps I did over at my neighbor's house. She had all kinds of papers that she and I and another friend of hers could select from, and papers that she had printed with different techniques that I haven't really done before. And that came out pretty. And so then here's my next page. And my neighbor came over to my house and we did some eco printing. And these are the pages. I don't usually like to use the original eco prints in my artwork, in a journal, as pages, things like that, because the alum that I use as a mordant leaves a kind of a powdery residue on the papers, and I don't care for the feel of it. But I'll show you some of the papers. First of all, I'm going to be working with these. This is a paper that fell apart as I was undoing my bundles. So I'm going to use some of that. And first I did some eco printing of a bunch of eucalyptus that I bought at the market. I bought a bouquet. They had some fresh eucalyptus at the market. And I bought a bunch of that eucalyptus and I spent the day doing some eco printing of that. And then a few days before that I had received a bouquet from a cousin, a beautiful bouquet. I'll insert a picture here of it when it was fresh. And I enjoyed that for quite a while, and then as it started to fade I took it apart and started eco printing with the flowers from that. And then I invited my neighbor Robin to come over, and she had some dried flowers from her garden last year. And so we just spent a couple of days eco printing. And so I just have them in this cardboard box that was left over from some birdseed I bought. And so here's some eucalyptus, and this is the page where the eucalyptus was pressed between, so you can see it, a nice bright print on that side, and then it soaked through on the other side. So I have a few of those. Here's just the eucalyptus leaves off the stem. And here's another one that's ripped. It got ripped. So I'll put that in my pile. Here's another one that got ripped. But for today I have to use scraps because this is a scrap journal. And these are scraps from the cardboard that I use to hold the bundles together. I can make something with the scraps. So the difference between eco printing and eco dyeing, with eco printing you're using plant material or other objects that can release color, and you put them between papers and they dye the paper with the image. And eco dyeing is where you just put plain paper in a water bath with something like tea or plant leaves or petals, and you let the dyes leach out and color the paper. And they don't leave a print, they just leave their color. So I'm just going to play with this and have a relaxing afternoon. We had a storm yesterday, and first the power went out at 7 a.m. and didn't come back on till noon. And all the while it couldn't decide if it wanted to snow or rain. So it did both. It snowed and it rained at the same time. But there wasn't enough to stick to the ground. Okay, I'm going to just do a border all the way around the edge, stick things down, and then I'll decide how I want to put my main subject. Okay, let's see what we can do with this now. Okay, so I have a whole space here that I can fill in. What can we find for that? This color is so pretty here. Okay, I think we can do that. Okay, I have to be logical, so I have to have it going straight up and down. So next what I'm going to do is take my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to tack down any edges that aren't staying down. Well, I seem to have made more scraps. I think I have more scraps than I started out with when I started making this page from scraps. Alright, I cleaned up my desk. I think I want to do some Stabilo all pencil on this one. Just around, lightly around these edges. So I'm going to blend the Stabilo all pencil into the edges of the paper, let it kind of soak in, and then I'll let it dry and it'll be nicely blended. Now I'm going to look for a quote. So while that's drying, I will look at my little collection of quote books. Okay, I searched out some of my quote books. Some are quote books, some aren't quote books. This is cut out from a magazine. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford. 101 Thoughts Worth Thinking on Wings of Angels. And there's some pretty quotes in here. I've used a couple of these before. Then there's this one, Friends. It's a calendar. I think, is this one a calendar also? Yeah, this one's like, there's thoughts per day or something. So this is a calendar of quotes, one for every day of the year. I believe this was my mother's. The Wit and Wisdom of Forrest Gump. These are nice and big and funny. Then it doesn't have to be a quote book. This is a German phrase book. And you could find a phrase in here. It could be snarky, or it could be funny, or it could be thoughtful. So here's one. I like this one. And then it has it in German. I won't embarrass myself by trying to pronounce it. I will take this one. I don't like this color. You could cut out something like that and put it on your collage. There's no reason why not to if you've got the time to look through the books. This is called I Need to Unplug, a journal for escaping the modern day scourge of digital distraction and information overload and cord lashing, even though the cacophony of dings and bongs and buzzes that herald the arrival of texts and emails and headlines are bombing my brain with crave-inducing dopamine hits that themselves are... I can't read the rest, it's too small. But anyways, it has some quotes in it. They're a little bit on the large side. That color actually looks good. We're like Hansel and Gretel, leaving breadcrumbs of our personal information everywhere we travel throughout the digital woods. It's a little too big, though. What else have we got? Books. The quietest and most constant of friends. Book lovers' quotations. I'm not sure I could cut out this book or not. It's got some beautiful images in it. But if I didn't want to cut it, I could scan a copy of it on my printer. And then just regular books, Benjamin Franklin. And if I had a lot of time, I could go through this. Here are some ideas he has on things. Temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, chastity, humility. Things like that can be cut out as a quote. Here's a science fiction novel. It's two different novels in one. Houston, Houston, Do You Read Me? And Souls. And as you can see, I have done some cutting from here. So half the book is right side up and half the book is upside down. But I don't think I'll spend the time today to look for that kind of quote. But I just want to give you some ideas what you can look for. If your local library has a used book sale, mine does it 2 or 3 times a year, you can find things there. So what I think I would like to do is put some quote in here. So I don't want it too big. These initial caps are too big. I think I'll take this one. Friends believe in your dreams as much as you do. So that describes my friend Robin. We both have similar dreams in the art and craft and gardening world. So I think I'll just put that right there. So when I'm done with this book, it's going to be a book of quotes, isn't it? All the quotes I've collected to put on there. Okay, so I am dating some of these with these little tiny cutouts here and here, and a stamp for the number. This one, since I did it at my friend's house, I just wrote it here. So I need to page number this and page number this. So we've got page 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have these little modular stamps. I think I got these at Michael's. I don't remember now, it's been a while. Okay, and that's my vintage photo. I'm using a different stamp than I used on the other pages, but that's okay. I'll put it right here. Well, can't see that at all. Maybe I should use black soot. Haven't opened this yet. Let's see how it works. Oh, nice and dark. Okay, that works. There. Now I think I'll go back to vintage photo for this one because of the color. And get number 5. I looked for these on Amazon for you, but they didn't have the exact same one, but they had something similar. I'm sure it works just as well. So I like to link things that I use because that's how I learn about different tools and supplies. I see how they're used, and then I say that will work for me. Now, today's date. What is today? March 7th. I'm just going to use my Micron pen. Just like that. Okay, I do like to clean these off. I had trouble getting these back together. That'll work, and that'll work. Okay, there's my little scrappy collage made from scraps from my eco printing. Friends believe in your dreams as much as you do. So this collage that I made at my neighbor's, she had some rub-ons. So I rubbed on the octopus, and then I think I was having problems with the rub-on, so I just tore out the rub-on and glued it on there. And then I found this quote, "The devil whispered in my ear, you're not strong enough to withstand the storm. Today I whispered in the devil's ear, I am the storm." So it's very stormy. Different colors for an ocean storm, but that was a fun day. And then here's today's. Scraps from the Eucalyptus and Eco Printing Day. Actually a couple of days. So thanks for watching, and have a great day collaging. Bye-bye.